Ever picked up a product and just felt it was made for you? Or watched a new brand suddenly appear everywhere at once? Well, that's no accident. It's not magic, it's a plan. A really, really smart plan. And today we're going to unpack the 5 key secrets behind almost every single thing you buy. Let's pull back the curtain. So we're going to follow a product's entire life story using what's known as the 5 P's of marketing. It's our roadmap. We'll start with the product itself, then figure out its price, track it to the right place, see how it's promoted, and finally meet the people it's all for.
All right, first up, the product. Now, before anything gets sold, it has to exist, right? But we're not just talking about a physical thing you can hold. We're talking about its whole identity, its name, its look, its story. It's a complete idea carefully built to live inside your head.
And every powerful brand really has 2 parts. First, you've got the brand name. That's the part you say out loud, like Coca-Cola. That can be legally protected, for 10 years at a time. Then you have the brand mark, or logo. That's the part you see, like that famous Nike swoosh. One's for your ears, the other's for your eyes. And both are designed to be totally unforgettable. Okay, picture this. You're in a huge supermarket aisle. There are hundreds of boxes and bottles all screaming for your attention. So who's making the sale when there's no salesperson around? The packaging. It's often called the silent salesman because its job is to make a powerful pitch without ever saying a word.
So what makes that salesman any good? Well, it's a mix of art and honestly just common sense. Yeah, it has to grab your eye and stand out from the other guys, but it also has to be practical. Think about it. Is it easy for the store to stack on a shelf? Is it strong enough to get home in one piece? Is it airtight to keep things fresh? Great packaging does all that. Plus, it has that all-important label with the info you need to make a decision.
And products are kind of like people. They have a life cycle. It starts with the introduction, where sales are slow because nobody knows about it yet. If it's a hit, it enters the growth stage. That's the exciting part where sales just skyrocket. Then comes maturity, where it's at its peak. Sales are high, but that crazy growth has leveled off. And finally, there's the decline, when the market is full and it's time for the next big thing. And for each of these stages, the strategy has to change.
Which brings us to our second P, price. Seems pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Just a number on a sticker. But that number is one of the biggest, most strategic calls a company has to make. It's almost never just about what it costs to make. So how in the world do they land on that specific number? Well, it all depends on the goal. Is the goal to maximize profit? Then you price it high. Is the goal to gain market share? You might price it low to get a ton of loyal customers for the long run. Sometimes you just need a quick sale to clear out old inventory. And in a really tough market, maybe the goal is just survival. Every single one of those goals requires a totally different price. So what's the playbook? Well, a company can go with simple cost-based pricing. Just figure out your costs and add a little profit on top. Or they can get smart with demand-based pricing, which is all about what you, the market, are actually willing to pay. They could play it safe and just match what their competitors are doing, or they can get really aggressive. They can use skimming to charge a super high price for something brand new and exclusive, or they can use penetration to launch with a super low price and just take over the market. Our third P is place. And this isn't just the store where you buy stuff. No, it's the entire journey, the whole logistical puzzle, from where the factory is built all the way to the specific shelf you grab it from. Every single step is a huge strategic decision, and that journey starts way before the product is even a thing. A company has to ask itself some tough questions. Where are the skilled workers? Can we even afford the rent there? How close are we to our raw materials? Is the power reliable? Can trucks even get to us? Get these answers wrong, and a product could be doomed before it's even made. These aren't just details. These are massive make-or-break decisions. Okay, so once the product's made, how does it get to you? There are 2 main paths. The direct route is where the company sells it themselves, maybe in their own store or online. They get total control over the price, the brand, everything. The other option is to use a middleman, a wholesaler who buys up all the product, takes on all the risk, and then gets it into lots of different stores. It's a classic choice. Do you want total control, or do you want massive reach?
So we've got a product, a price, and a place. But if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, right? How will anybody know it exists? That brings us to P number 4, promotion. This is all about talking to people, making an impression, and creating that little spark of desire that makes you want to buy.
But promotion isn't just the Wild West where you can say anything. In most places, there are rules. In South Africa, for example, the Advertising Regulatory Board makes sure that ads are truthful and fair. Companies can't just go out and make crazy promises. They have to play by a code of conduct, which is good for all of us. So what makes an ad actually work? Most of the good ones follow a simple 4-step recipe called IDA. First, it has to grab your attention with a cool design, a clever line, something. Then it has to build your interest, making you think, tell me more. Next, it has to turn that interest into pure desire. You don't just think you need it, you want it. And finally, the call to action, that little nudge that gets you off the couch and into the store. And these messages are absolutely everywhere, right? They reach us through a whole mix of channels. We're talking print media, like in magazines. We're talking electronic media, like TV, radio, and of course the internet. And then there's outdoor media, billboards, ads on buses, you name it. Each channel is a different tool for a different job.
And that brings us to our last, and honestly the most important P of all, people. Because let's face it, none of the other 4 Ps matter one bit if they aren't perfectly aimed at the right group of people. This is the real soul of marketing.
The most critical question for any company is, who are we actually selling to? And the answer can never, ever be everyone. A real target market is a very specific group of people who not only want what you're selling, but are also able and willing to pay the price you're asking. That right there is the bullseye. So to find that bullseye, marketers have to become detectives. They slice and dice the population into segments, looking at everything from age and what you do for a living to your income, your culture, and even your buying habits. The goal is to build a super detailed picture of their perfect customer. But here's the twist. People isn't just about the customer. It's also about the team inside the company. You can have the most brilliant marketing plan in the world, but it's totally worthless without well-trained, passionate people to actually execute it. Think about it. The best salesperson you ever dealt with, or the most helpful customer service rep, they are the final living piece of marketing you experience. They are the brand. So next time you grab your favorite coffee or unbox a new phone, just take a second. Think about its journey. Was it the slick packaging that got you? The price that felt just right? The fact that it was conveniently right there when you needed it? Or was it an ad you just couldn't shake? The product in your hand has a whole story behind it. And now that you know the plan, what part of its journey is the one that convinced you?